light here. Finally, some good lighting. Oh, what's going on with my phone though? It looks slow. Because it is. Hi guys. Hello friends. Hey Adam. Happy. It's Tuesday. Giving space to be living in this pandemic and remembering what day of the week it is. I am Aisha T. Hill. I am your guide of Check Your Privilege, here to have a check-in. Thank you. A little gray, a little short. I missed the purple though. Those are coming back soon. Using my stands. Some of my co-conspirators hooked me up with some stands. Now we just got to get a new ring light. Just kidding. We'll do that. But really grateful to be here today. Good afternoon. Did not come live Monday because I was traveling. So I thought I'd come on here today and just say hey and check in and see what the intentions are as we live into our work this week. It's really about intention setting and updates. But before we get started, I want to go ahead and say that I am a black settler on Ohlone land here in the Bay Area of Oakland, California. You know, last week and the week before I was on Paiute land and then Chumash land. I've been doing a lot of traveling, safely socially distancing, but I'm happy to be here on Ohlone land. We practice land reverence, friends, because we want to tell the truth that this land is not our land. I was actually thinking about that song this week. You guys remember that song that back in my day we had to say the Pledge of Allegiance. We had to sing the Star Spangled Banner. This was before the school day started. And we had to sing This Land Is My Land. Let's stop singing that. If you're an educator, please don't let your kids sing that song because it's not our land. This land is stolen due to the westward expansion of manifest destiny from the white folks coming west, from the Spanish to the European. So all of the land here was colonized. Our indigenous ancestors were forced into servitude, slavery, or were murdered by their colonizers if they chose not to convert. So we want to continue to talk about land reverence because we know colonization and decolonization are ongoing efforts, and we always want to tell the truth. Not only do we want to do land reverence, but we also want to give reparations. So how can we resolve harm? By giving back into our indigenous communities, whether that's donating to COVID relief funds, whether it's going on a reservation and volunteering time. Whatever it is, you guys, make sure that you're not just doing this to tokenize what's happening, to not tokenize the experience of saying, I'm giving land reverence. Go deeper. Always go deeper. Let's do our housekeeping. Good to see Ohlone land here and Lenape land here and Pawtucket land. Oh, where's that? Isabel, I've never asked you. Thank you for always being on the live. Hey, Jocelyn here in Ohlone land. That means that we're neighbors. Hey Natalie, we are fighting some pandemics, 3 of them: racism, COVID-19, and mental differences. I try not to say illness because you guys know that I know that language is a tool of oppression, and so I'll say mental differences. And even when I talk about children with differences, I say different abilities, not disabilities. If you see something here that's a troll, that is someone with a differing opinion, you don't have to say something. Mind your energy. So we block, bless, and report here on this account. We do not engage. We lean into discomfort, going deeper and inviting ourselves to really be in space and really see what's coming up for us. We don't center whiteness. Also, it's not our platform. So many of you guys joined the mailing list last week. That was so dope. So click the link in bio. Join the mailing list. The newsletter already went out today, so if you join today, you'll get another email. You'll get that newsletter next week. Thank you for being here. You're part of Tongva land. Thank you so much. And it's really important that you join the mailing list, again, because at any moment, this account can be taken, shut down. They took followers last week. They gave some more. You know, the algorithm is super biased. No, it's all good. I'll answer that question in a second. Thank you, Isabel. Isabel's got it. It used to be. And then remember what Bell Hooks teaches us. She teaches us that shame is one of the deepest tools of imperialist, white supremacist, capitalist patriarchy, because shame produces trauma and trauma produces paralysis. That is Bell Hooks, not Maisha T. Hill. It's important that we think about that as we engage in this work, because we get into this work and we think we know it all and we shame each other and we call each other out. And remember, the call out is because is a mirror. So oftentimes when our shadow is reflected back to us, what do we want to do? We get defensive. And so mind your business. We're in the middle of a pandemic. Do you really have time to do we really have time to go back and forth? Allie, I appreciate what you're saying here in the post. If you could shoot us a DM in our email, this is not the space where we're going to talk about that today. I say different for several reasons. If you say disabled, that works for you, but I say different for different reasons, and that is a reason that's close to me and my family. But I do appreciate your perspective and your point of view, so thank you for saying that. That is actually part of what I actually was going to share today, is that, you know, we all, educators and guides and coaches and scholars and teachers, we all teach different. We all use different words. We all have different perspectives, and that's okay. Because if we can sit in community, regardless of our differences, and not just race and skin color, like, I'm not even going to go there, we can actually go deeper. So it's okay for us to have a difference of opinion, and it's okay to agree to disagree, right? Because that's what makes us human, and that's what helps us honor our common humanity. So thank you, Allie. All right, so quick. I want to tell you guys that Check Your Privilege, Create Equity launches in 2 weeks. If you have not signed up to hang out with me and Eliana Chinea for the month of October, if you want to do that, it's 5 Fridays. It's a little bit different. That last workshop, that last course is going to be very different. So if you've taken it before and maybe you just want to come to the Friday, shoot us an email. Can't tell you what we're doing, but the last week, it's not 4, it's 5. So you know that means that 5th week is going to be pretty amazing. So you can click the link in bio and sign up for that. Remember, on Wednesdays, we will not be live here on Instagram. You can hang out with us at noon on the Check Your Privilege Facebook page or the Check Your Privilege YouTube account. We're just moving and grooving in new and different ways. So I want to make sure that y'all can hang out with us on YouTube or on our Facebook page. So let's talk about what today is. You guys know what today is. Put it in the chat. Put in the comments. I'm going to wait. Thanks. All right, I'm just going to say it because I'm excited. It is National Voters Registration Day. You got a prompt on the feed today. Please register to vote. If you are able to, maybe go contact your local senior center and see if you can help take a senior to register to vote if they haven't registered, or what you can do to get our seniors to vote. If you have youth 18 or older, thank you, Cares. You want to make sure you're telling them to vote. Right, it's not just Tuesday. You guys know what's happening in like 40 days. Make sure you're registered to vote. Most websites, we've posted it on the Facebook page. We put links in today's newsletter. Make sure you're registered to vote, because the call to action right now is to vote. The call to action is to vote. I am not going to have a political discourse conversation on Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, and 45. Vote. Vote like your life depended on it, because I don't think Justice RBG would want us to just grieve. For those of you, I don't think Representative John Lewis would want us just to cry. We need to take the grief. We need to move it into action, because grief is a catalyst for change. So check and make sure that you're still registered and that you've registered to vote. For maybe you're like me, you're relocating to another state. Make sure you get your address, get moved, you get registered, vote in the state that you're moving to. Make sure you do what you got to do so that you can rock the vote, so that we can make a change. And there's many sides of the spectrum. Again, you just need to vote. I'm going to keep my opinions to myself, but I just want to remind you guys that you need to vote. All right, another thing that I saw in the news before we talk about intentions for the week is that I'm trying to figure out why there was a press release or a memo released around Breonna Taylor's, the Surgeon General or the Attorney General in that state. That was very confusing for me. I don't know if you guys saw that. What I'm trying to figure out is they gave a warning and they put up barricades and they fenced off parts of the city, and they also kind of put the plywood on businesses. So that's giving us a warning. I'm taking it as a warning. I'm not sure what you guys are taking it as. Just give me 1 second. But whatever you do, if you decide to go and protest, please wear a mask. Louisville has been declared as a state of emergency, and downtown is cut off. Oh, we're getting this live together in real time. And so, due to potential for civic unrest, he has executed emergency powers. So if you have money that you want to give, please give to bail funds in that state, in Kentucky. Give your money to bail funds in Kentucky. Give your money to bail funds in major cities across the country. Yes, her family did sue. Her family did get a settlement last week, Isabel, and a settlement is not justice. However, based on their calling a state of emergency for potential civil unrest, it's like they're telling us what is getting ready to happen, like they're prepared for it. So we prepare by preparing to have bail fund money ready. We prepare by getting our supporting the ACLU or whoever's going to come in and take this matter over. That's how we support. For me as a mom, I can't go protest because I have 3 children and it's just me and my kids. But this is the first time that I'm seeing it as a pre-warning versus it just being put out and then it goes into civil unrest, etc. So here's the pre-warning just in case. So y'all get ready. Donate to bail funds across the country, but specifically in Louisville. And just get your mental health ready because the news is going to propagate and push this as some sort of political agenda by the right or the left to blah, 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 blah. We know that this is a fight for justice and a fight for liberation, so let's try to focus on that. The fight for liberation, the fight for justice. All right? What else? That's it. That's all I got because it's just intention setting. I usually come on and we talk about what are you doing this week to work on your relationship with privilege or the systems of domination. One of the things that I'm doing this week is I'm preparing for Saturday School. So Saturday School is that 12-week group coaching program where we go deep on topics. And this week we're talking about decolonizing ourselves as a system of domination. So there's the systems of domination, and now there is how we need to decolonize ourselves as a system. So this week what I'm working on, oh, it's okay, Laura, is getting ready for us to deep dive on colonization and decolonization and go deep. So that's a really awesome community. What are y'all doing this week to work on your relationship?
Give it to me.
Okay, I have to get you a whiteboard. It's okay. I'll do that today. Mom time. Gotta go buy another whiteboard. Leah is saying that you are finally out of depressive episode and jumping back into the conversation on everyday white supremacy. Good, Leah. Thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you for being vulnerable. You don't know any of us, but you've shared that with us. As you engage, just continue to take care of your mental health. So thank you. This is about the racism, I think, in the UK. Is telling us that it's here. It's not as brutal in the US, but it's still very bad. Interesting. Would love to hear more about that. Anti-blackness is anti-blackness globally, so no matter what, we're faced with it. So what are you doing to work on your relationship? Yes, going to city council meeting today. What are you going to do at that meeting? Are you going to just take in information? Are you going to go before and challenge for 2 minutes? What are you going to do? Would love to hear that. All right, Amanda, making calls to voters in swing states. Awesome. Love that. Having discussions around systemic racism with my family. Samantha, let us know how that goes. It can be challenging or it could be easy. So slow and steady wins the race in this work, y'all. Kelly is learning about the local race-related issues of the new city you just moved into. Absolutely. The place where I'm going, I did a Google search for anti-racism educators. I did a Google search for Black Lives Matter movement, and I'm like, oh, this is different. So yeah, really, really keep learning and leaning into that. Working on mentoring kids at underserved schools. That is cool. Christy, is that virtually? Gabrielle, you're trying to educate your dad on BLM, but it's proving very difficult. Gabriella, is your parent a boomer? You know, it's not my business, but I've come to learn that our parents, at a certain point, they get stuck in their ways and do the best you can, but after a while, you know, you have to, one client said, I had to think, what part of my father, it was her father, of that relationship do I preserve and what part of it do I let go? But yeah, it's not easy. Isabel, you looked up your state laws that could target minorities, and you're writing letters to your senator about them. All right. You've been speaking up about police misconduct for a few months now. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Less brutal in the UK because there are less guns. It's just racist. It's a similar country. You're championing black artists and hiring someone to help write about which brands are actually putting their money where their mouth is. One brand that I will tell you that's based in the UK is The Body Shop. I know that because I got to hang out with them a couple, 2 months ago, and they're really making some changes. So I will take that on this week as well as part of my work and reach back out to them and try to do a check-in next week. Texting voters to get more registered? Absolutely. Black psychologists in an institutionally racist healthcare system in the UK. Oh my gosh, Ella, send me a DM. I want to hear about this. You should come on live with me and let's talk about that. Because we usually focus here on the US, what's happening, but I would love to hear more about what's happening in the UK, Australia, and other countries. Maggie, hosting listening sessions at church and having conversations to keep the discussions going. I have a small group that I meet with, and it's something. Your dad's 42? Well, he's not a millennial. Who was before the millennials? Because I'm still a millennial, y'all. Lord have mercy. Well, we just gonna, holy hands for your dad. Talking at length with Senate candidates about police reform. Okay, you guys are really living into the work this week. Educate yourself on what's going on.
Die.
Yep. Paying people properly. Sarah, you're doing this inner work, focusing on one subject at a time, but moving on in the work. Being productive, growing, doing better. I am going to try to have some discussions. Sarah, if I could give gold stars, which we don't do in this work, because we don't perpetuate good, bad, binary, and all or nothing thinking, and you're number one. But it's inner work, and I'm glad you're doing one thing at a time, because you guys know that when our ancestor George Floyd was murdered, we were all doing all the things, which is why we told you to niche down your journey. I like that, Sarah. Isabel, you're going to send your friend a letter detailing the ways the country is racist, along with cookies. Oh, man. I'm going to keep going. That made me smile today. Thank you. Trying to have conversations around the high holidays about the connection between Jewish people and civil rights. That is something that I learned last week. I learned that more than last week ago. I actually had a meeting back in February with someone who was in a coaching cohort with me, and we were talking about the intersections between Jewish people and black people, and the basically we're more alike than different. So yeah, the saying rest in peace about Ruth Bader Ginsburg was absolutely not appropriate, and I learned why. And we did apology on our Instagram account. But yeah, it's really important that we know that and have those conversations. Sounds good. Send me a DM. Working to get the courage to move forward with code enforcement against deliberate door slamming at all hours of day at night by my neighbor. He's made comments about my race. Holy moly. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, definitely. Let us know how we can support you, because not good. I think Gen X is the generation before millennials. You know, Gen Xers, I love y'all because I know y'all are like my friends. I love y'all. I'm not going to say nothing because I'm a millennial. You know, millennials have a lot to say. Inner work, yes. Questioning your default to white silence. That's that deep interrogation work. Writing voter turnout letters. Hey, doing some inner work. Hey, Tia, good job. Right. Well, that's it, guys. I usually just do Mondays as an intention setting day, really to just get us kicked off and get inspired with the work that we're all doing in community. You're doing a report with what's going on and got a project with your team. You're afraid to move over, but almost hate being in your own home. Praying on it. Let's keep praying. But that's what we do here on Tuesdays. We do intention settings to get us grounded into our week. Tomorrow we'll be live over on YouTube or Instagram with a special guest. Really, really excited for that. And what else is going on? Friday we'll do our check-in and check out and Q&A. Ask me anything. Let's do this. Thank you guys for being here, being in community. If you're in the Co-Conspirators Lounge, I'll see you Thursday. If you're in Upper Division, I'll see you tomorrow. And if you are in the Breaking the Addiction of Privilege support group, I'll see you Thursday. We live into this work. Only 5 days a week and a few hours a day because mom life. All right, guys. See you later. You going to end it?
This button.